Hey, 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 it's your girl Barbie J. Hey guys, it's me, Barbie J. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Today we are talking about the Equalizer, Season 1, Episode 4, It Takes a Village. And you will understand that title. I'm glad that these titles make a little bit more sense than some titles on shows that I review. But anyway, before we get started, I want to give my shout outs to the people who've been holding down my channel in the comment section. We have Lamont Simpson, Poet Summer Breeze, Tammy Terry, Simply September T, Real Heat the Producer, Miss Bell, Ty Harrell, Shanice Says, and two new ones, Yusha Morrison and Sweet Case 1988. I like those. Okay. I thank you all for your comments. I look forward to more comments. Whether you for or against what I say, I love comments. So anyway, what else is going on? Let's see. So, let's hit. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now. Hit the little red notification bell. It says subscribe. Hit it. Check it out. You can give the thumbs out for the likes. And you can also hit that bell that will let you know about all the videos that I upload. I do about 6 a week. So you should always have some type of information or hear from me frequently. Okay? Now, this episode, I mean, what can you say? It's Queen Latifah. I've enjoyed just about everything and probably seen just about everything that Queen Latifah has done or been in. You know, I mean, let's be honest, she rocks everything she does. I mean, from the beginning, which set it off for me just right. Girls Trip, Chicago. I loved her in Chicago. What else was there? Beauty Shop, Barbershop 2, was it Steel Magnolias? The Perfect Holiday. What is it? TV shows with Star and Living Single. You know, the queen, she stays busy. She stays busy. And I am so glad she's truly blessed. She seems like a wonderful person. And I enjoy supporting her. So, and this episode, it seems so familiar depending on what neighborhood you live in and stuff. You know, this episode is definitely familiar to you because it's what happens when they go into developers go into low income areas or the black neighborhoods, people colored neighborhoods, and they want to build up, and they kick them out of their apartments so they could build up. Matter of fact, it's just happening now again in the building next door to me. These were the only buildings that were supposed to be knocked down back 20 years ago, and they finally got those people out. It took them 20 years, and they paid for their moving expenses and getting them new furniture and everything just to take over that building, because now they're going to move some other people in whose skin complexion ain't as dark as ours, and they're going to get those apartments. That's what's going to happen because we cannot afford it. You know, and speaking of the black, that's why I'm rocking this is the last day of Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to all of you out there. You know, but we know Black History is all year long. I thought I'd rock my little last Africa earrings and my red, black, and green and my kente. You know, I had to get it all up in there for the last day. So I hope you guys like it. Anyway, so like I said, that's what's happening now. In this episode, it starts with these two people walking, Malcolm and Crystal, and they seem to be friends for a long time. And Malcolm basically is like that neighborhood activist almost, you know. He's not a politician, but he's an activist, whereas, you know, when people are trying to get pushed out of their apartments, and he knows a little bit about law, and he's telling them what they should do, what we should do to fight. One lady stops him and is like, oh, my electric went out again. I need help. He said, Miss such and such, I'll be there. Everybody in the neighborhood seemed to know him when he walking down the block. So he's that nice guy who tries to help and fight for you against the gangs, against the politicians, against the developers, landlords, and, you know, so he's that guy. So he's walking down the street with his friend Crystal, and they're talking about her blind date and the neighborhood. So basically she was like, after my blind date, I'll call you and we'll hook up and I'll tell you all about it. Well, she comes home after the blind date. She's calling him on the phone. He's not answering. And when she gets to their block, she notices police activity. There's her friend Malcolm laying there dead on a car. Somebody done pushed him out of a window. Come to find out, oh, so then she gets upset. She knows he would never do something like this. They have it as a suicide. She knows he would never kill himself. They had plans, blah, blah, blah. So she calls on Robin McCall, Queen Latifah. And Robin talks to them, and she talks to her and this guy, Charles. And Charles brings up that, Malcolm had his little demons and stuff. And I was like, what does that mean? I was trying to figure out what he meant by his little demons back in the day. She said, no, but he would not kill himself. There was a suicide note left, and the suicide note basically had a clue in it or something like that, which Robin McCall finally figured out. But when Charles said that, he had his demons and stuff, making it seem like maybe he was back on drugs or something like that. And I was like, what is that all about? Well, what ended up happening is we find out that Charles had something to do with it, because he gave the gang the key to Malcolm's apartment. But that scene was funny when Queen Latifah rolled up on the gang members, and she ain't had no gun. They pat her down, and then she pointed her finger like it was a gun. And they said, what you gonna do, scold us with it? She had a finger with these nice leather gloves on. But basically her girl Mel was up on a roof somewhere, and whatever she pointed, it would shoot, pow, pow, pow. And they were like, whoa. And all these, I said, this scene was, okay, this was the only scene so far, thus watching it, that was a little silly for me. I don't know about y'all. This is me. I thought it was a little silly because there was about 8 guys around her, and they all could have shot at her. But then when you think about it, if they would have shot, they could have shot each other, because they had her circle, like in a circle. So anyway they shot, if they missed her, they could have been hitting one of their other boys. So maybe that's why they didn't do it. But she pretended and pointed and shot, and her girl was up on the roof with like a rifle, like banging, and they were like, oh snap, they all put them guns down and stuff. And she had to basically get close enough to the leader to clone his phone with her phone, And when she did that and was able to clone the phone, he hurried up and called somebody. He didn't know she did that. He called somebody, and it was that guy, Charles. So that's how she found out. Charles was in on it. He gave them Malcolm's key. He said he just wanted to scare him. Come on. They a mother freaking gang. Do they go around scaring people? They go around killing people just because. It was like, that's what's supposed to be your boy, your friend. Why would you do that? So I didn't like that part. I didn't like that part at all. So once she found out, Robin found out it was Charles had given the key to the gang members. When they called him, they dragged him. They found Charles, and they dragged his butt over to that area where she saw them before. And he told them, I swear I didn't tell anything. I didn't tell anything. And they were going to kill him. And then the police pulled up all around and circled them. And it was Detective Dante. And they were like, you're dead, man. You're a dead man. And Charles was like, but at least I die with my conscience clear. With my soul clear, because he sold his soul to that man when he gave him his friend's apartment key to get in there. What the heck? I'm like, what did he think they were going to do? But at the end of the show, Charles does leave town. He cleans out and leaves town, because I guess he feels, even though these gang members are in prison and stuff, in jail, whatever, they're going to come and get you. They're going to come and get you. And even when they arrested that gang member, and he was about to drop dime on a developer, the developer sent his attorney to save him and tell him to say you did it solely on his own. And basically he said he did it on his own. So, Robin McCall went around doing her thing. She went and saw, she found out, she went to see Detective Dante and asked him, did he want to get involved and stuff? He said, but they ruled it a suicide. She said, yeah, that's what they said, but it's not. And she told him she had a witness. So that was the guy, Charles. So her and Detective Dante teamed up again, which was really cool, And what happened was they went to an event, and they didn't come to the neighborhood of the people in color to talk about this new project. The developers had the people of color come all the way to their neighborhood you know, to talk to the people. And they didn't even have like chairs or an auditorium like usually it is events. Everybody had to stand in this hallway or whatever. And so the kid was talking, and of course he was a white guy. He's talking on behalf of the developer, and it gets to the point where his father is disgusted. He's there. He's this guy Harrington or something, Robert Harrington. He's the developer, got all this money. And come to find out, he paid off the gang members. He does, he has something to do with the people, the terrorists who, with Paris, blowing up Paris. So this man is deep with money and different things. So he kind of like scolds his son in front of the people. You're embarrassing me, you look stupid. And Detective Dante was there as well as Robin McCall. So they all heard that. So what she did was use that to her advantage and tried to later talk to the son, because that was the developer's son, tried to talk to him later and act like she knew him from college. I guess she did some research on him and about him getting married. And she found out that the reason his fiance broke it off is because the father paid her to break it off. She showed him proof that the father had the guy killed, the gang member killed. But the son was a different type of person, which was really nice. He was a nicer person, developer, who wanted to fix up the neighborhoods as well as help the people with affordable housing. The father didn't give a dang. He didn't care. So he helped Robin McCall and Detective Dante, not Detective Dante, I'm sorry. What's Robin McCall's friend's name from the CIA? William Bishop or something? She stopped him in the middle. She went and found him. He was in a park playing chess with somebody. And she stopped him and asked him, you know, would he help her with this thing? And he's telling her how dangerous these people are, how hard it is to reach them and touch them, and they have money, and it goes deep, and blah, 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 blah. And he's always telling her that, but that never scares her, deters her, and she still goes and do it. So they tried to dress up and go into the building. The son worked it out so they could get a card key. Oh, well, they kind of picked the father's pocket. He kicked them out the building when they tried to come in dressed up to his event. But they were able to get the card key. They had to walk up 43 flights to get into there. And she had to, you know, little smart drives or whatever they call, travel drives. And she had to upload a lot of the files because they said rich people like that always have files, a paper trail or some type of file somewhere. They try to get rid of them, but they have a trail somewhere. So she was able to, somebody came and saw them when they got into it because the son told them the safe is behind a big picture of my, you know, a photograph, and they knew which one it was. And they were able, it was an old school safe with the, so she was able to put this little thing on it, which counts the numbers and lets you know when to click and when to turn. So they got in there, long story short, they got in there. And then when she was coming out, the police came up and they supposedly be busted. So you like, damn, I'm like, is this show going to continue? Because it's like 5 minutes too and they busted, you know. Well, those were fake police officers. So they really weren't busted. And the guy, what they did was put cameras in the developer's office or whatever it was, and a recording device. And when he started yelling at his son and calling his son stupid, and the son is like, Dad, did you really do it? Did you pay my fiance off? And he said, well, son, she took the money. You know, it's like, it says more about her. She took the money. She told him about he asked his father about killing Malcolm, all of that. And he was like, yeah, who cares about them poor black people? And he's like really putting them down. And the son is like teary-eyed and upset and stuff. And the son didn't know it. But all of a sudden, the developer's phone is ringing and beeping and stuff. It's being recorded all over Times Square. It looked like it was Times Square. You know those billboards, those big billboards that's lit up and stuff, and they show movies and stuff on it? They were recording him and putting it up there. So he got busted. He tried to get out the building and leave, and Detective Dante walks up in there and catches him. But in the meantime, while all of this is going on, it started with Robin teaching her daughter Delilah how to drive. Delilah hit a pothole, got shaken up, and got upset, don't want to drive no more. She's mad. Instead of her taking ownership or driving and hitting that hole herself, she blamed the city and everybody else whose fault it was. So Robin told her, then do something about it. You know, what you going to do about it? You don't like it, what you going to do about it? So she said, who you going to go complain to? You know, you got city councilmen, all these people. So she wrote a tweeted something. I think she wrote a letter and then did a tweet. This is Delilah. And she got it retweeted 2,000 times to the point that the city transportation department or whoever wanted to meet her. So she was so excited because she feel like she did something great. And she goes down there and they didn't even care. They told her to basically to get in line. They've gotten thousands of complaints and they really didn't care. And she was very upset. And she said it was basically a photo op because they took pictures and they wanted to make it look like he cares about the community. And so she got mad at her mother saying, why she send me down there and blah, blah, blah. And Aunt Vi had to tell her, look, honey, she broke it down for her. Look, this is what happens. At least you tried and did something instead of just complaining and not doing anything. So she tried. But what happened is when her mom got home and she's sitting there upset, she said, you still upset? She said, what we gonna do about it? She said, sometimes when you can't get people to fix stuff, you got to fix it yourself. And so Aunt Vi comes out with a shovel and they going down there to fix up the pothole. So the daughter was very, she learned her lesson from that, which was a good lesson. Sometimes you got to do stuff. You can't just complain. There's a lot of people in this world, they complain about what's going on in an election. A lot of them. There's some rich ones. There's rappers, there's famous actors and stuff. They out there never voted before, but you cannot complain about anything if you've never voted. You have to vote and that's how you make your voice. That's how you tell your politicians and people how you feel. So that's long story short, it ended with, Robin saving the day with the help of Harry and Mel and William. And I enjoyed this episode. I give this one a 9.5. But y'all let me know down in the comment section what you think. But have a wonderful day. And it's your girl, Barbie J. I'm out saying peace. And don't forget, the Equalizer comes back on March 28th. So that's 4 weeks away, everybody. See you then. Peace.